Welcome to RCAM. I'm your host, Ryan, and thank you for tuning in today. And I hope you guys are having a very blessed day. So, today we are going to be doing a tab dump because I just have all these unread tabs that I gotta get through, guys. I gotta get through because they just backlog, and then I'm like, oh, I'll do that one. I'll do that one next Thursday. Oh, I'll do one. I'll do this one next week, and then it just spirals out of control. So we're just gonna speed run through some of these tabs today. So that's what we're gonna do. Um, and we're gonna have fun doing it. We're gonna have a grand old time. So I'm excited. And we got a lot to talk about. So we'll be talking, of course, about Black Snape and the new Harry Potter reboot. So that'll be exciting. We will also be discussing some video game news, and we will discuss Colbert's um, new Lord of the Rings movie that he will be having a hand in. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I have mixed feelings, so we'll talk about those mixed feelings. We're also going to be talking about a controversial post that was making the rounds on Twitter about a man that basically overshared a little bit. But I think he was well intentioned, so we'll talk about that. So yeah, we got a lot to discuss, guys. And then in addition to that, we have like a million other tabs that I have open that uh, are just random things that I want to talk about. So we're just gonna try to cram it all in here and see what we have. It may be random. You may be like, we may be talking about like a movie, and then suddenly we're talking about like Venezuela cracking down on crime, and then we'll be shifting to something on marriage and relationships. So just kind of whatever comes up in the tabs. It's a jumbled mess today, guys. It's a jumbled mess. But you want to know what? Life is messy. And sometimes, I don't have time to put together the well-polished show that other people do. I'm a dad with 3 kids, it just is what it is. And especially on Thursdays and Fridays it just has been crazy for me. Like there's just no way around it. It has been insane for me on Thursdays and Fridays. So I have just been running around basically like a chicken with my head cut off trying to get everything done. So my wife works in the evening, so it's on me. It is my responsibility and my burden alone to take the kids to my daughter to soccer practice. So that's been a challenge. And yeah, man, it is what it is. So I'm just I'm 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 just gonna do the best that I can, guys. The best that I can. And you either take it or leave it. So all right. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to tackle this behemoth that I have. All right. So I got it. I know what we're going to do, boys. I know what we're going to do. I just got to get one missing element pulled up, and then we will be good to go. So I hope all of you guys are having a blessed day. Also, if you have your own story that you want to share, if you have something that you want to cover, uh, by all means. All right, my cat wanted to get in the shot, so if she fits, she sits. So you can actually see her this time. This cat is in love with me. I don't know why. I'm not even the nicest one to her. Yet I think she likes me the most. Why do you like me the most? I don't understand. I don't know. Anyway, so how we're going to start this off today is we are going to Hey, more complete. What's going on, man? How are you? You did not miss the start. We have not gotten into anything yet. So we're doing a tab dump today. We are just going to go through all of my open tabs of stuff that I've just been wanting to talk about but I haven't had time to talk about. And my cat is joining the show. So, yeah. She's kind of cool. You could bear it. Usually if I'm wearing a black shirt, you can't even see her. She just blends in. But anyway, man, I hope you're having a good one. So we're gonna start this off by discussing the new Harry Potter trailer. So we'll play that first, and then we'll get into it. Whoa, nope, I don't want to do that yet. All right, there we go. All right, let's play this.
I told you. You are a normal boy. And you're going to start acting like one. You think you're something special? There is nothing special about you.
I've always wanted to know about my parents.
Your parents were the kindest, bravest people I ever met. They were funny and clever, and they stood up for what they believed was right. The next time I see you, we'll be in Hogwarts.
Mr. Potter, I think we can expect great things from you. Let's see who you are.
That Nimbus looks stupid, by the way.
Are you really Harry Potter?
Okay, so this trailer got obviously a lot of people talking, okay? So before I get into this, More Complete says, nice freeform diatribe tonight. Yeah, man. You're gonna see me in raw form, gonna go on some rants probably. Good old woke doing its job to destroy the good Western culture. That's right, man. That's right, bro. They can't leave anything alone. You know, the first question I have to ask myself about this is, did this even need to be made? No. I don't know. I don't know why this was made at all, honestly. You know, they're talking about bringing a whole new generation to Harry Potter. Well, what is wrong with the original films? Like if I just don't get it. Like if there was something wrong with them, maybe, but they hold up. You know, they're fine. So I don't get that at all, to be honest with you. It's a little bizarre that they're even doing this reboot to begin with. So, you know, there's a lot of people saying it's a shameless cash grab, and I have to agree, it is a shameless cash grab. So there's that. That is the first problem, is that I just don't think this is a story that needed to be retold, as it, you know, the original is still holds up. It doesn't feel dated. In fact, I actually think that's part of the charm about it, is that, you know, it's, you know, is a, you know, little trip back in time, you know, back to when things weren't so crazy, you know? And this new rendition, it just takes you out of it. And we can start with the casting decision. So they cast, and I've talked about this before, uh, Papi Asadu as Severus Snape in the upcoming HBO series. Uh, which is a problem, I think, because this is just all right. So I had to be very honest with myself and say, Ryan, why are you bothered by it? Uh, and the primary reason that something like this does bother me is because I know it's a DEI thing. They didn't choose the best actor for the role. They were trying to check off a diversity box, and Papa Isato, I guess, was the person that they chose for Severus Snape. And how do I know this? Because Hollywood has admitted that they have criteria for hiring. And they also have criteria, by the way, for giving out awards. So it has to be a certain amount of, people of color. So they have this criteria, and that's part of the problem. If they had cast the original Harry Potter movie and it was a black dude, I probably would not have cared. You want to know why? Because all right, so I had recently did a video about Will Smith in I Am Legend, and Will Smith played a character from a book named Robert Neville. Well, Robert Neville in the books is white. Will Smith is not white, clearly, but nobody had a problem with Will Smith being in that role. I sure as hell didn't. I didn't care. And I didn't care because I know that Will Smith was the best actor for the job. I know he was, because he was one of the best actors in the world, and he crushed that role. With this casting decision, I don't know if this guy is actually the best actor for the role, or he was just put there to fill a diversity quota. And then, obviously, he does not actually fit the role. And then putting him in this role causes problems where I don't think it would be as serious if it was a different actor being race swapped. Like if they race swapped Sirius Black, I don't think it would actually be as big of a deal because of the optics. So one, Snape is immediately like cast as a very suspicious person. So now like everybody's just going to be suspicious of the black dude, which I think is like, okay. I mean, if that's what you guys want to do, that's fine. There's also another scene though that I think is going to look bad with this being a black character in its place. Now, if we lived in saner times, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't think it's a big deal because I'm not racist and I just don't care. But there are people that are gonna care, and I don't think they realize it yet. So this is a clip from one of the Harry Potter movies where Harry's dad, James Potter, is bullying Severus Snape.
Nice one, James.
Impedimenta. Right, who wants to see me take off Snivelly's trousers?
How do you think that that scene is going to go over if they're hanging a black guy under a tree? I can't imagine it's going to be well received. So it just, begs the question if they even thought about this. and if they are thinking about it, then surely they're going to change this scene, which means that they're going to continue to mess with the integrity of the books. So I suspect that is probably going to happen and be a thing. So we'll see. I gotta say, I am curious. And part of me thinks they do this intentionally to get people talking about it. Because they know that people are going to talk about this. They're gonna make a stink about it. And it's, bad PR is still PR. So they're gonna take advantage of it. So we'll see. Now, as far as Papa Isato is concerned, I'm sure he's going to do a great job. It's like I'm not doubting that he's a capable actor. Okay, do I think he was the best actor? No, I think there was probably a better choice, and my choice would have been Adam Driver. Like, come on, that guy is Severus Snape. All right, he is Severus Snape in real life. So it would have just made sense to cast him. That would have been my casting choice. But we won't know as long as, Hollywood continues to, have DEI as part of its hiring practices. I would love to know. I would love to actually feel confident that Papi Isato was the best person. I would love to know that he was, a ton of people acted for Adam Driver, auditioned for this. They all tried out, but Papi Isato just put on such a compelling performance that he outshined everybody. And when you have an actor that's actually really good, like they could make you forget uh any controversy. Like if their performance is so compelling. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on with that. uh Now some of the memes have been delightful. So I saw I saw this one. uh you got to laugh at some of it.
I'm Black Snape. Yeah, I'm Black Snape. Yeah, black cloak, black skin. Walk the hall, they whispering. Cauldron bubble, I'm different. Dark eyes don't flinch, just glimmering. House points, man, miss me. Came from pain, they history. Same blood, they fear, they diss me. But they copy my brew, still sip me. Side eye from the portraits. Cold stone, but my soul scorched. They ain't teach where I'm from, had to learn from the alleys and the torch. Half prince in the world, they hate. Hold me. Walking through the dark, one day my hand in a X in my heart. Turn that fear to a spell, then I spark. Yeah. I've been cursed from the start. Black Snape. They talk war in the streets. I see more than they see in the tower. Drive by, man, I glide by stealth. Broomstick, bring stone, cold shower. I ain't glorified shots, that's great. That's moms in black, that's waves. Of boys that ain't make old age. So I ain't my rage at the cage. Do a spell, then I spark. Yeah. I've been cursed from the start. Black Snape.
That was pretty good. That was pretty funny. It's a good use of AI. Good use of AI. So, anyway, so we have the trailer. We have, the first look of the Harry Potter, and it did do well, by the way. Amassed 277 million views, which is pretty impressive. All right, just the trailer alone amassed that amount. But this isn't the only controversy. The Snape thing isn't the only controversy tied to this new Harry Potter movie. Apparently, people are saying that, and this is from Dom Lucre, so take it with a grain of salt. I don't know who's saying this, but apparently there are some people saying that new HBO Max Harry Potter actor is being accused of looking like a lesbian. Dude, this is just a little kid, man. See, they're just things where it's just like, I just think people are being ridiculous. This is a kid. He's a child. All right. Like, can we agree that we're not going to insult children? We're going to leave the kids alone, man. He's a young, aspiring actor. I think he looks fine. There's nothing wrong with him. He's just, as a kid, he just looks like a little boy. But these people want to be, I don't know. I think they want to see woke when there is no, and I'm not saying there is no woke in this movie. I'm sure there is, but this is not one of those instances. This is just a little boy. All right. It's just a little boy, and we shouldn't be essentially bullying this kid. Hey, KMD, sorry. I just saw your chat, man. I hope you're doing well, man. All right, my stream's probably not going to make it over there. Speaking of woke this was disappointing for me. So Andrew Garfield shades J.K. Rowling while praising the artist that worked on the Harry Potter films. Daniel Radcliffe is really good in the Harry Potter films. The films are really good. I know it's controversial and we shouldn't be putting money in the pocket of inhumane legislations right now, though she who shall remain nameless, through she shall remain nameless. But there are so many beautiful artists that worked on those films. Dude, she's not freaking Voldemort, all right? She's against transing children. That's what she's against. There's nothing inhumane about it. Actually, the practice itself is inhumane. Her sinning against it is sane. All right, it's the right thing to do. And it is frankly pathetic that, he doesn't even want to say her name. And it's not it shouldn't be controversial. There's nothing controversial about not wanting kids' bodies to be mutilated. That's not controversial. That's sane. That's normal. That's rational. That's actually what compassionate people want to try to stop. What do you want, cat? This cat loves me. I'm telling you. This cat, she loves me. Get out of here. She- About to call my daughter up. Get this cat out of here. So anyway, so there's that. Let's see what else we got here in the docket. Hold on a second. Let me get all my tabs, guys. I got so many. I got so many. It's ridiculous. All right. So apparently Stephen Colbert is going to be spearheading a new Lord of the Rings movie. All right. So this is him in an interview talking about it. We'll play it and then we'll discuss.
The next Tolkien movie after Hunt for Gollum, and the fact that we've partnered up with you to develop the script. So,
yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. Shall I tell people what the story is?
As much as you want. Yep.
I will, as much as I can. You know what the books mean to me and what your films mean to me. But the thing I found myself reading over and over again were the 6 chapters early on in the Fellowship that y'all never developed into the first movie back in the day. It's basically, the chapter is 3 is Company through Fog on the Barrow Downs. And I thought, oh, wait, maybe that could be its own story that could fit into the larger story. Could we make something that was completely faithful to the books while also being completely faithful to the movies that you guys had already made? And I started talking it over with my son, Peter, who's also a screenwriter. And we worked out what we thought would work, especially as a framing device for that story. And it took me a few years to scrape my courage into a pile to give you a call. But about 2 years ago, I did. You liked it enough to talk to me about it. And ever since then, the two of us have been working with the brilliant Philippa Boyens on how to develop this story. And we recently took it to Richard Brenner at New Line and Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca at Warner Brothers. And I could not be happier to say that they loved it. And so that's what we're going to be working on.
Fantastic. Now, are you sure you've got the time, though? Because,
That I did not think I would have the time. As much as I love it, I knew I couldn't do that and do the show at the same time. But it turns out I'm going to be free starting this summer.
Well, isn't that fortunate?
Isn't that a you catastrophe right there? So if you'll excuse me, I've got to finish a television show and I've got to write a movie script, but I will see you all in the Shire.
Okay. Alrighty. Bye-bye.
All right, I have mixed feelings about this. All right, I'm just gonna be completely honest with you guys. I don't trust Colbert. I'm just being honest with you. I really don't trust the guy. But at the same time, he is a fan of the movies. So part of me wants to believe, because he's a fan, that he's going to do them justice. That that would be my hope, is that he would be faithful to the source material and do it justice. But I don't know. I know a little bit from about the synopsis so far, and it doesn't have me optimistic. I'll be honest with you guys. It doesn't have me optimistic at all. I am skeptical of of what it's actually going to be like. So let me pull this up right now. All right, so here's the synopsis. I'm just going to read it to you real quick. 14 years after the passing of Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin set out to retrace the first steps of their adventure. Sounds riveting. Meanwhile, Sam's daughter Eleanor has discovered a long buried secret and is determined to uncover why the War of the Ring was very nearly lost before it even began. So I have a feeling this is going to be all about Sam's daughter. Hold on a second. And that they're going to do some girl boss stuff with it, which I'm not terribly thrilled about. If I'm being frank with y'all, I'm not thrilled about that. So we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it'll be fun and nostalgic, and maybe they'll actually do it justice. That is my hope. That's the optimistic side of me, hoping that his fandom will overcome his wokeness, but I'm not confident. And if this is even half as woke as Amazon's Lord of the Ring, then we're in trouble. We're in trouble, man. They can't make good movies anymore, and it's very difficult for them to make non-woke shows. So we'll see, man. We will see. But Stephen Colbert is obviously very woke, and I just, I'm not optimistic that he's not going to show restraint when trying to insert modern woke feminist propaganda into the movie. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So that is that. Let's see. Moving on. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. So we are some gaming news. We are getting a Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. And this is a remake, not a remaster. So I'm pretty excited about this. All right, guys. This is I played that game to completion. I really loved playing it. I did pick it up again for the 3DS when it was released on that platform. And I didn't, I only got like halfway through. But if they do this with the same kind of mechanics as Breath of the Wild, dude, count me in. Count me in. Inject it into my veins. I want to play it. His own wokeness destroyed his TV show. Do you think Lord of the Rings is safe from that hand? No, I don't. I actually think he's going to be like Smeagol with Lord of the Rings and just be corrupted by the power of wokeness, unfortunately. I'm trying to be optimistic, more complete. I'm trying a little bit. I'm trying this thing where I try a little bit of optimism when it comes to Hollywood, but man, they don't really give me a lot of reasons to be optimistic. I'll be real with you. But this game, I'm excited for. I'm genuinely excited for this. So supposedly this is coming sometime in December. So that'll be cool. That'll be really cool. So I'm stoked. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be fun. I like Legend of Zelda. And yeah, that'll be cool. Other cool news. So we recently got a first look at Fox McCloud in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So it's happening, guys. All right. If you are not convinced yet, it is happening. They are going to have a Super Smash Brothers movie. All right. We got these 3 characters that are all Smash Bros characters, including Rosalina, including Luigi and Mario and Yoshi. I would not be surprised if we see a cameo from Kirby. It'd be really cool if we saw a cameo from Samus. I'd be freaking stoked. I'd be stoked. So we will see. We will see. I am I am very confident this movie is the launching board for them setting up the Super Smash Brothers movie. It doesn't have to come out right away either. I'm a patient man. You know, if they do a Star Fox movie and a Metroid movie, and we already know they're doing a live action Zelda movie. So that's happening. Now, what I don't want them to do though is when they make this movie is to make these characters live action in the Mario world, like just animate them. It's fine. No one will care. Everyone will be okay with it. It won't be an issue. More complete. He's compromised at such an obvious way. I wonder how many times he went to the island. Yeah, he is compromised, man. He is. Yeah. It sucks. And the sad thing is we're really not going to ever see justice for these people. Like that's, you know, like I don't like to be black-pilled, but when it comes to the Epstein stuff, I just don't have any faith that these people are going to be held accountable until Judgment Day. You know, and I have complete faith that God will handle business, but in this life, I don't think anything's going to come of it. Sadly. All right. More news with Super Mario Galaxy. Brie Larson has just continued her redemption arc, in my opinion. So Brie Larson says that Hollywood could learn from video games. There's so much that video games are taking from cinema. I think it's really time for us in cinema to recognize what we can take from video games. Actually, there's a video here that I want to play.
This is the best press day I've ever had in my life.
I'm not watching that whole long thing. Let me find the clip. That is too long. That is too long. Where's the clip? Where is it? Oh, I think this is it. Here we go. That was easy. All right, here's a clip.
I think I'm starting to understand, because in the last year I realized that being forward with the fact that I've played video games my whole life and I love video games, and like the gaming community is much bigger than the film and television world.
Yep.
And it's this bizarre thing that now that I've started talking about it more and reaching out and even talking with video game companies because I find it so inspiring and these are the creators that I love, I'm learning that it's this thing where it's like, people say, what movies did you see? What book are you reading? But not so much do you think to ask, what video game are you playing right now?
Yeah.
And I think we'd be surprised that more people are playing games, and even people that think, oh no, I don't play. And I'm like, but you're playing like a word game with your friends every
Wordle,
day.
You're doing Candy Crush.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that it's play.
Yeah.
It's play and it's world building. And there's so much that, you know, video games are taking from cinema. And I think it's really time for us in cinema to recognize what we can take from video games. I think.
Yeah, she's completely right too. I mean, most of my friends ask me what games I'm playing, you know, or we talk about games, you know, quite often. But I think as a culture, I don't think a lot of people do that. And I think, yeah, it's such a big part of culture that it makes sense for Hollywood to start taking notes from some games. Like take notes from Expedition 33, Masterclass in Storytelling. take notes from some of the video games that you're adapting into movies, because sometimes they'll do these video game adaptations and then just totally stray away from the source material. That's something I wish the Resident Evil franchise actually did, is stayed more true to the video games instead of going in the wild direction that they did, because those movies just started to suck. I mean, they were just not enjoyable at all at some point. So I think, yeah, it would behoove Hollywood to actually take a note from the gaming industry. And I'm actually excited for her to play this role as Rosalina, because I do think she actually cares about the source material. Like, I legitimately believe her when she shares her passion for video games, and that this is something she's grown up doing. So I think she's going to do a good job uh, with that character. And it's nice to actually see her speaking positively about the movies that she's doing. Again, she comes across way more likable. And yeah, even the people on her team. Oh yeah, she is very pretty. Mila Djokovic. She's a very attractive woman for sure. Um no complaints with her, all right? But I do think, like, she could have very easily been the Jill. Like, they didn't have to make this whole separate character. I think her name was Alice in that movie. They could have just made her Jill, and they could have gone to the mansion. And it didn't have to play out exactly like the video games, but that could have been the core of it. And they could have just spent a lot of time with them exploring the mansion, which would have been sick. That would have been a really cool movie idea. But they didn't really do that. So, I like the first movie actually for the Resident Evil franchise. I thought it was good. But after that, not really. All right. So her co-stars even talk about her fandom.
In this next film, Brie Larson is playing Rosalina.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have another female character in the cast?
Oh, amazing. And Brie is so delightful. She's also has the most extensive knowledge of Mario, like out of anybody in the world. So just being around her is very contagious. She knows everything about every game, has played every game I don't know how many times. It's wild.
It's kind of the cool thing that we got lucky that we got Brie, who crushes it and loves Nintendo Universe, and also Donald, who campaigned for the role. He called.
I didn't
he
know
had his
that.
agent said call. He told his agent, call Chris Meledandri, tell him I really want to be Yoshi. I'd love to be in the new Super Mario Brothers.
That's amazing.
Because he loves it and he loves that universe
and the delightful Benny Safdie.
Yes.
We really, all of our additional cast members don't feel like they're additional cast members. They feel like they've been here since the beginning.
I don't know who cast it, but they deserve a raise.
You did a good job.
Yeah, they did. They did a really good job of casting for the Mario Bros. Movie. I was skeptical of Chris Pratt as what is it, Mario, but he did a good job. It was fine. So I thought, what's the guy's name? Michael Day, is it? That plays Luigi. He's good too. Yeah, they have a pretty good. Now Yoshi, I just feel like Donald Glover being Yoshi, I'm sure he's gonna do fine, but it's Yoshi, all right? Like he literally just says his name, and makes funny noises. So that just seems like a fun character to do the voice acting for. So, all right, let's see more. So I have 4 different tabs open. So I have my film tab, which I think I got through all that. I got my gaming tab. This should have been in the film tab, but we'll talk about it. I like Tom Holland, and he just seems like a very stand-up guy, and I just wish there were more actors like him. Oh, it's your birthday, KMD. Happy birthday, brother. What are you, 25 now? more complete. I really liked Jack Black playing Bowser. He was great as Bowser. He was so good as Bowser, man. Yeah, we already got our tickets to the next movie, so I'm like leaving work early to take my daughter and my wife to go see it. So we're stoked. We're big Mario fans in this house. My daughter is a huge Yoshi fan. Fun fact, the first video game my daughter ever beat was Yoshi's Woolly World. She loves that game. She is 24. You're 24 now. Okay. I thought you were already 24 and you were turning 25, but okay. But yeah, she loves that game. She beat it to completion. And they're coming out with another Yoshi game actually next month. I'll probably buy it for her because she's a good kid. My daughter is a fantastic kid. She's just so well behaved and it's just a gem to be around. All right, so this is Tom Holland weighing in on Hollywood.
I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it. But that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it, to kind of just live as normal a life as possible. I've seen so many people come before me and lose themselves, and I've had friends that I've grown up with that aren't friends of mine anymore because they've lost themselves to this business. And I just am really, really keen to focus on what makes me happy, which is my family, it's my friends, it's my carpentry, my golf. My relationship is the thing that I keep most sacred. I don't talk about it. I try my best to keep it as private as possible. We both feel very strongly that that is the healthiest way for us to move on as a couple. You'll never see me at an award show that I don't have to be at. I'm never going to a red carpet event that I'm not in the film of, I don't want the attention when I don't need it. But there's a quote from Billie Jean King that's on the stand at her stadium in New York that says, "Pressure is a privilege." And that is so true.
That's good, man. It makes you think too, like, what about Hollywood has he seen that he's just like, I want to stay as far away from these people as possible. Like, they are crazy. All right. And he just, I totally respect him just wanting to live a normal life and just be out of the spotlight. That's a remarkable character trait to find in someone in Hollywood when that's an industry that's basically built on vanity. And he doesn't even, he sits in the audience for his wife's award ceremonies. He's a good dude. I like Tom Holland. Very likable guy. I also thought he was a good Spider-Man. I thought he was good. So this might be a controversial statement, but the Spider-Man that I liked the least was actually Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I know. It's not to say that I don't like him as Spider-Man. He's just the one I like the least. I liked Andrew Garfield actually more as Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire. This cat, bro. What do you want from me? Here's some pets. Go away. Get out of here. Get out of here! Go on, get! This cat, man. Okay. Sweet. We got through another tab. This is great. Oh, speaking of, I guess this is a good transition into our next topic. So now we're moving into the AI tabs. So I don't know how many of you guys have saw, like, there's these wedding photos going around of Tom Holland and Zendaya. There's rumors going around that they secretly got married and people are sharing photos. Well, turns out they're fake. They're fake. Fake AI generated photos aren't real. And Zendaya sat down in this interview to talk about it.
No. This is first time show.
Okay, all right. Well, let's take a look.
All right, let's bring in Mom and Dad. Yes. Everyone scooch in, get close.
Now, yeah, in a lot of ways, somewhat close closely resembles a scene in the film.
Yeah, but it was a beautiful day.
And it almost would seem as if somebody just crudely pasted Tom's head over Robert's head.
No, that was real footage.
Okay, so just to be clear.
So I guess they go on to say many people have been fooled by them. While I was just out and about in real life, people were like, "Oh my God, your wedding photos are gorgeous." And I was like, "Baby, they're AI." And yeah, so it's like this stuff is just fooling everybody. I saw some of the photos too initially, and I thought they were real. I didn't realize it was AI. I should have realized it was AI, but honestly, it's freaking good. It's actually good. Looks legit. Oh yeah, he actually got married to his cast member. Yeah. So what are you doing for your birthday, KMD? Hope it was good, man. All right. More AI news. Let's see. I thought this one's actually kind of funny. So there was obviously there's AI scam artists, and this guy exposed one of the scam artists. So we'll play this clip.
How do I know you're not some AI thing though? How would I be able to tell?
Here, man. Here.
Oh, is that? Sorry, can you hold that up?
It's not AI.
Can you?
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's
that's like our director.
Oh, I see. I thought it would be your name.
No. That's our director. We have a multiple. You see all of them here.
Oh, I see.
So, Ronnie.
But is there not some way of telling whether you're real or not? Can you hold up 3 fingers in front of your face or anything?
Oh, come on, that's too much.
Yeah, you can hear his Indian accent even with his filter.
Well, I'll do that here.
In front of your face?
What do you mean? I mean, that's too much. Come on, Ronnie.
Why would it affect the AI if it was in front of your face?
Well, not at all. But
can you do that
then? Too much to ask.
Not at all. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But not at all. I'm not AI, guys. By the way, see, no filter on my face. 3 fingers. I can move too fast. I'm good. Not AI.
Well, make sure you're not AI. Is that unreasonable? I mean, can you do that in front of your face?
Well, I think that's too much to ask somebody. Don't you think that?
No, I don't think it.
It's too much to ask you to prove that you're not AI. Come on, dude. Come on. He got caught, man. He got caught.
It is. If I'm making sure you're not AI, I think that's a reasonable thing to ask. Can you hold up 3 fingers in front of your face?
Well, I think that. Well, is that enough?
No, it's not in front of your face.
Is that enough? Over here?
That's too much, don't you think?
Yes, it is. Because, if you were real, you would put up 3 fingers.
He realizes
in front
he
of your
got
face.
busted.
Yes, I thought so. How do I know?
He got busted. So just beware, man. I mean, they're leveling up their scams. They're trying to get you in Zoom calls to convince you and disarm you that they're real people. Because they look real, but yeah, you need to test if they're AI. You really do, because they will scam you out of everything that you had. I just read this story about this guy that, excuse me, his wife died, and he ended up getting this text from this random person, and it was an accidental text, and then they ended up getting into like a deeper conversation. He found out it was a girl. I don't even believe it was a girl, and she ended up convincing him to like invest like millions of dollars, or at least $1 million, into crypto, and he got robbed and lost his life savings. And because they use AI to make this person pretty convincing. Although I think it's dumb, real dumb. But, this is a world that we're living in. If you're not careful, you could lose everything. So just be careful, man. Oh, good cake. All right, KMD. I want some cake right now, actually. That sounds really good. I'm gonna have to convince wife to bake tomorrow. She makes really good mousse. I like her mousse. And oh god, you're gonna pull my headphones out, cat. Come on. All right. This cat is so needy. Anyway. So there's that. One more piece of AI news. I think it was from Anthropic. Yeah, it's this. Leaked Anthropic document revealed they'll soon be releasing Claude Mythos, which is by far the most powerful AI model they've ever made. Anthropic worries that their AI is so advanced that it could shred cybersecurity in a way that we can't currently defend. Yeah, and I was talking to my brother about this too, and apparently it can do like the job of an entire cybersecurity team and cybersecurity systems. So there is a cybersecurity system called CrowdStrike that basically it completely eliminates the need from. So all their stocks are going down. Yeah, I have a cat, bro. I have a cat. She's having the time of her life right now. She tried to bite me. You little get out of here. Fight my cat right now. She's spicy. But yeah, I have a cat and 2 dogs. And yeah, that's my life, man. And 3 kids. So I have a very full house. Very full house. But anyway, yeah, this AI could really disrupt things and is going to disrupt things. My job might be one of them, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think the end is nigh yet, but it could get there soon. Speaking of end of the world, I saw, where's this video? I gotta pull it up because I do think I thought this is interesting. So this is one where you can pull out your tinfoil hats, because I do think it's something that is interesting, quite interesting. Here it is. Bingo. All right, so this is from Dom Lucre. UFO researcher Chris Bledsoe claimed in 2012 he wrote down a vision and handed it to the Pentagon that said during an Iran-Israel missile exchange in April 2026, thousands of orbs will rise from the ocean. That is ominous. More complete. Woo! I don't know the context. Unless you were talking, that's a reference to me fighting with my cat. This cat, bro. All right, let's play this.
And I put this in writing to the Pentagon in 2012 when I told this. Okay?
2012.
One thing she told me was, when you see Iran and Israel exchanging missiles, and I saw it. The way she tells me is a vision of, I see it like a living picture screen. I could see the rockets flying. Then all of a sudden, orbs appeared out of the ocean and everywhere.
Great.
And I told the government, if this happens, the orbs are going to appear and wake people up and stop it. That's what she told me.
April 2026.
Yeah.
And okay, you've put yourself in it there, Chris.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's going to be Chris Bledsoe says April 2026 is when it all happens.
But I can tell you this, when I told this to the government about 2026, I just repeated what she told me. They immediately put remote viewers on. And all of a sudden, all the remote viewers are saying, oh my God, 2026, 2027, something is going to happen.
2026, Easter.
What will happen?
The star will, the alignment she told me about, that the star of Regulus would be on the horizon in front of the Sphinx. At that moment, there'd be a new knowledge. Well, I had no idea if this was even possible, but these astronomers run it through the machines and it comes out that that star is going to come up on the horizon in Easter of 2026.
Easter of 2026.
I gave him the specific time. And it was with Robert Grant that I told him about this alignment and all. And he's like, oh my God. He's been looking for this ruby. This little ruby you have to find and place it between the paws of Sphinx to make this event that he knows is going to happen in 2026. I said, Robert, it's not a ruby. It's the Star of Regulus. He looks at it, he's like, oh my God, it's the King's Star. So, what's going to happen, I don't know. But I think it's possible that's the return of
Christ.
Yeah.
The President of the United States today said on camera, we're thinking about using nukes against Iran. He said we could eliminate Iran, make it uninhabitable forever in an hour.
We could take them out by this afternoon. In fact, within an hour, they literally would never be able to build that country back.
We have weapons that can do that. Well, those are nuclear weapons. The President of the United States just saying out loud, if this gets more intense, we could nuke them.
Oh, hold on one second. I had to give my daughter a kiss goodnight. That's trippy. Not gonna lie, that is trippy. And you want to know why I find, obviously take these with a grain of salt. But I have, yeah, take them with a grain of salt. I mean that, but I have had a feeling that something pretty big is going to go down in 2026, 2027. That has been my feeling for several years now. And yeah, I mean, I would love Christ to return. I think we're at a point where he kind of has to. If I'm being honest with you, I think we are getting into very dangerous territory, especially when it comes to AI. That if he does not return soon, we are going to be in trouble. I also think an indicator of his return is when all the nations are gathered against Israel, and we're seeing that happen. Everybody's turning against Israel. The United States is, one of their last friends. And, I've seen even Trump voice frustration with Israel. So I wouldn't be surprised if the tides turn, but we'll see, man. Now, More Complete says UFOs are just propaganda. Yeah, I do think they're propaganda. And my thoughts on UFOs are they can only really be two things, okay? They can either be, ancient technology that was made by angels, or they could be holograms, or actually three things, or drones. So it's like, or actually there's option 4 is that the government has had super advanced technology that they've been keeping from us, or China has super advanced technology they've been keeping from us. But it is something to think about. My beard is about to come in like yours and not as full and across my face, but there are signs for future hair. I'll pray for you, brother. I hope that you can make it into the beard community and be a beardsman. It's an actual tragedy that some man can't grow beards, and I just want you to know that there is hope for you. I will pray for you. But yeah, I think that's crazy, man. I think it's trippy. We'll see what happens. April's right around the corner. So, We will see. I wonder what actually I want to actually look this up real quick, cuz I know like Baba Vanga has had some pretty crazy prophecies that have come true. So I'm very curious to see Baba Vanga prophecies. We'll say see if she has any for 2026. This is like super tin. I don't believe 90% of this. Just throwing that out there. I don't believe like 90% of this. All right, Baba Vanga's predictions for 2026: the start of World War III and aliens, first alien contact. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Actually, I saw a video today too of JD Vance talking about aliens. Let me pull that up. But that's actually kind of in line with what that guy that we just played was saying. So maybe, I of course think they're demons, and I think JD Vance agrees with me.
You're gonna release all the UFO files?
We're working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files. And then you start getting really busy worrying about the economy and national security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice president. I will get to the bottom of the UFO files.
Okay. Have you peeked? Have you done a peek?
Have I what?
Have you done a peek? Have you
So I actually haven't. I
the
have
full
not.
Independence Day.
I have not been able to spend enough time on this to really understand it. Yeah. But I am going to. Trust me. I'm obsessed with this. I've already had a couple of times where I'm like, all right, we're going to Area 51. We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this. And then the timing of the trip just didn't work out. But trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody. And I've got 3 years of the very, very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay. So you haven't been to Area 51 yet?
Not yet.
Some
not
people
yet.
say they keep the UFOs in Ohio. They might,
Hangar 18, Hangar 18, right?
I've
heard that as well. But I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet.
Okay. All right. Well, we're waiting for it. We saw aliens.gov.
You know me.
We saw aliens.gov.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.
Well, I can't let you go without a follow-up on that. Because Barack Obama is on this podcast and he goes, yeah, aliens are real, but like, here's where they're not. And,
I did not.
And so Obama says, yes, aliens he gets asked point blank, are aliens real? He says, oh, yeah. And then he goes, but they're not at Area 51. And
where are they?
Well, that's what he says. Right. There's a great question. Trump had to go save him, and he said he's going to declassify. Okay. So you think they're demons?
Well, look, I think that celestial beings who fly around, who do weird things to people, I think that the desire to describe everything celestial, everything as otherworldly, to describe it as aliens. I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in, has understood that there are weird things out there, and there are things that are very difficult to explain. And I naturally go, when I hear about sort of extra natural phenomenon, that's where I go to, is the Christian understanding that, there's a lot of good out there, but there's also some evil out there. And I think that one of the devil's great tricks is to convince people he never existed.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's real good. All right, hold on a second. Let me get cut off a chat real quick. All right, good place to hang around is Christian chat. I don't know. Used to be there years ago. I might make another account and rejoin. It's a forum like place for believers to hang out. Check it out, my man. I had a good time there at the time. That sounds cool, dude. Yeah, anywhere to kind of connect with other Christians is cool. I'm about it, bro. All right, so I do agree with JD. I hope he does actually get there. Like him being so busy where he's been unable to make it there is a little sketchy in my opinion. Like, you should be able to make it there. Oh man, I hope I'm not missing a bunch of chats. I'm not. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me get my other chats pulled up just in case I miss. Because sometimes I can't see like Twitch chat when it comes through, and some of the other ones without being very specific in what I do. Okay. All right. But yeah, I hope he gets there. I hope he checks out Area 51 and we get to the bottom of the alien things. Oh, also guys, just for those of you lurking or hanging out, definitely like and repost this if you haven't. If you have a topic you want me to cover, feel free to send me a link and I will check it out and we can discuss. Okay. All right. This is the topic that has been quite controversial. So we are going to spend a little bit of time discussing it. So for those of you who may be unaware, there was a viral Twitter post this past weekend about a Christian man basically sharing his talking about his marriage with his wife, and it was eye-opening to see what he had to say. So he got a lot of backlash for what he had said. So we'll read his original post and then have a discussion about some of the backlash that he faced. Was it warranted, and more. So let's just get into this. So this is a long post too, by the way. So I'm gonna read the post in its entirety, and then we're gonna discuss. And this is actually from KMD. He originally shared this with me. All right. So my wife was formerly formerly promiscuous. I was a virgin. She was then radically born again, committed to the church, evangelized constantly, Puritan books in her bedroom, prayer journals, grief over her past sexual sin, etc. We got to know each other well for over a year, dated for 4 months, engaged for 2.5, and didn't sin sexually with one another. Our first kiss with each other was at the altar on our wedding day. We've been married for over 5 years now, and she is the most wonderful and godly wife, mother to our 3 children, and homemaker you could imagine. She's more pure than most virgins. Interesting. As biblical purity has less to do with past sins, though they certainly matter, and more to do with one's current posture of their heart and daily decisions to honor the Lord. We're far too quick to forget the story of the woman labeled as a known sinner, likely a prostitute, in Luke 7:36 through 50, who was washing Jesus' feet with her tears while kissing them too. The Pharisees were shocked that Jesus let a public sinner do this. Jesus responded with a parable about debts being forgiven and ended with this powerful conclusion: her many sins have been forgiven. That's why she loved much. But the one who is forgiven little loves little. Everyone seems to highlight the benefits of virginity, and it certainly is a blessing, but we forget to highlight the benefits of being forgiven much as well. One thing here: obedience is better than sacrifice. So it's much better to do the right thing and not sin, and not have to ask for forgiveness, than to sin and have to ask for forgiveness. All right. That's just the Bible. So we should rather be encouraging people to behave well than to talk about the benefits of being forgiven much. Now, this is not to say that we shouldn't forgive other people, and we shouldn't be happy when people are forgiven. I think that's good. I think we should give people a path for redemption. But we should also recognize that we it's better to avoid sin entirely and try to stay on the right path. So a woman or man's past sexual sin matters. Oh, wait, hold on a second. But we forget to highlight the benefits of being forgiven much as well. My wife knows the depths of Jesus' forgiveness more than most people, enabling her to more easily live out a life of passionate love for her Savior. A woman or man's past sexual sin matters, but what matters far more when it comes to deciding who to marry is if the person truly is born again. If their repentance is real, if they truly have a heart for Christ, if they truly follow Jesus and obey his commands. God has chosen what is foolish in the world to shame the wise, and God has chosen what is weak in the world to shame the strong. God has chosen what is insignificant and despised in the world, what is viewed as nothing to bring to nothing, what is viewed as something, so that no one may boast in his presence. It is from him that you are in Christ Jesus, who became wisdom from God, our righteousness, sanctification, and redemption, in order that, as it is written, let the one who boasts boast in the Lord. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away, and the old has become new. And this is a picture with him and his wife. You know, they seem pretty happy. Well, he did end up getting dragged for this. Dragged pretty hard. And I think two things can be true at the same time. A lot of people are being very uncharitable to him. And that is not cool. You know, I think a lot of people are, you know, uncharitably suggesting that he called his wife a whore, and I don't think that's at all what he was saying. He was noting that she had a past, and that she was radically saved, you know, which is fine. Most of the time, I do think when it comes to the internet, you have to be careful about what you share, because you always have to assume that people are going to give the least charitable interpretation of what you say possible. They will not give you the benefit of the doubt. So when you're talking about your family, I think it's better personally to err on the side of being private and err on the side of caution than to share something publicly. KMD, my thoughts on that post. It should not be used as an example. Yes, she is forgiven, but she is not more pure than a virgin. That is nonsense. Yeah. The amount of women defending this is insane too. Yeah, I would say she is not more pure than a virgin. Even if, like, okay, let's say I grant her the spiritually pure. She's more spiritually pure than a virgin, I guess, maybe. But still physically, though, there's baggage that comes with that. And no amount of sanctification actually changes the earthly baggage that comes with your past sins. Like, see, when you are forgiven and you are redeemed, you are free from the eternal consequences of your sin. But that doesn't mean you're going to be free from the natural consequences of your sin. Okay? It doesn't mean that. Some of our sins have very natural consequences. Sleeping around has a very natural consequence. It does. And it does impact your relationship. You know, there's a reason that, you know, that women that have had multiple partners, marriages aren't as successful and they are not as sexually satisfied. There's a reason for that. That's not an accident. So Matt Walsh had made a point basically that he sounded a little prideful saying that, and I tend to agree with that. And I think we should not be at all this day and age encouraging it. Like, if your takeaway from that post is that, oh well, I can just sin and I'll be forgiven, that's not, like, the gospel is not a license to sin. Jesus' grace is not a license to sin. There are some very scary verses too, where if you sin and then you keep on sinning, then there no longer remains a sacrifice for your sins. That's in Hebrews. I'd read it. But it does seem like she has genuinely repented. I think she is sincere. And I want to pull up, I saw a post of her sharing a little bit about her past. Where is the post? What's her name, man? I'm trying to remember it. Maybe I have it bookmarked. Give me a second. I bookmark so much stuff. I gotta just delete all my bookmarks and start fresh. But then I'm like, but there's some food recipes I saved in my bookmarks that I don't want to get rid of. First world problems. Let me just type Trevor and see what comes up. Sheets. Oh, here we go. Maybe this is it. Here, let me play this. Maybe this is it. Because she did go on Allie Beth Stuckey's show to share kind of her experience.
Trevor has always been such a sweet, godly, understanding man. And anytime I ever told him anything of my past, he has only met me with just grace and just, wow, look at what God has done in your life.
Mm-hmm.
He is all about the gospel, all about Jesus. And he saw how much Jesus changed me. And the key thing is that person who I was is not me anymore. And he recognizes that spiritual truth. Romans 6:11 says, we are dead to sin and alive in Christ Jesus. And Galatians 2:20 says, I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And Trevor understands that spiritual truth. That Ashley is no more. She is gone. She is a new creation in Christ. And he only saw me as that. And that's how I saw myself. So that is why I wasn't afraid or ashamed to tell him my past, because although that's a very real part of my life, it is not who I am. I am a new creation. I'm brand new.
And that is true. I mean, she is a new creation, as am I. Like, I have a past, and I thank God that I have been forgiven and that I've been redeemed and that I stopped that past behavior. I just don't want anybody to take away that they can sin and be forgiven without consequence. You can be forgiven. That's true. But that doesn't mean you should sin, because sin comes at a cost. The wages of sin are death. And, I would rather women spare themselves a lifetime of grief because of their past, because they made, poor sexual decisions when they were younger. Hold on a second. There's another video I wanted to play. God, I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to find this one video that was shared about this woman. Let's see if I can find it. That's oh, yeah, hold on. You turned it around completely.
Oh, sorry.
There. Okay.
Has he done something?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, not a lot. Let's see if this is.
But I wasn't embarrassed at all by it because, again, I've been sharing my testimony for years. It was more of a praise God that my testimony is being seen by millions of people, millions of unsaved people, and the gospel is being magnified in that. I'm zero shame. And my husband knows I do not mind him at all sharing any aspects of my testimony. He's a wise, godly man. I
Right.
trust what he does, and he is discreet when he needs to be. And I had no issues with it. And
Yeah.
even though there's been a lot of backlash, again, I always praise God when I'm reviled and persecuted for righteousness' sake, as Jesus talks about in the Beatitudes. It is a blessing. It's hard, but it's
Yeah, I think they're handling it pretty well, which is good. Yeah, I think I would have used discretion, but it seems like they're making the best of it, so that's good. And yeah, I think ultimately we need to we need to preach purity and the natural consequences of sin. Like we can talk about people being saved from the eternal consequences of sin, which is great, you know. But also there are just very real natural consequences that can't be ignored. That your salvation doesn't save you from. Like, the person that like ends up murdering somebody and going to prison. Well, prison is a natural consequence of your sin. You can find Jesus in prison, but you got to stay in jail. And I also think that's part of what it means to be repentant is you own those consequences of your sin. So if your sin has wrought consequences on your life, then you need to acknowledge that you deserve those consequences because of what you've done wrong. My past sin has caused me consequences. I take responsible for every single thing that I've done wrong. And sometimes it's unpleasant. And sometimes it lasts far longer than I hoped it would. That's what it means to be repentant. And I think of the thief on the cross, when he repented and gave his life to the Lord, he acknowledged that he deserved to be there. And that's why I think he was ultimately saved, because he was willing to own the consequences of his sin. And so many people are unwilling to do that. It sounds like this woman was, though. She acknowledges what she's done wrong. She's grieved by what she's done wrong. Man, there's this one post. I gotta find it, man. I just don't remember who shared it. It was really powerful. Hold on, I gotta check out my. And I'm blanking on the user's name. Like if I see their profile picture, I'll remember who it is, but I can't remember their name for the life of me. Hold on a second. I remember part of what they said. Give me a second. What was it? Okay, create another account on Christian chat. Just have to wait for a moderator to approve my account. Cool, man. I hope you connect with some cool people, bro. What is this person's name? Why can't I remember? Let's see here. View all. I will find them. No, it wasn't this person. Give me 1 second here. Dang. I don't remember. Whatever. I really wanted to find it, but it is what it is. Oh, by the way, since we're on the topic of Christian purity and sex, I saw this. Devout religious followers have better sex lives. Shocking study, which is great. And then Isabella Brown talks a little bit about this with Brittany Hugo Bloom.
What was the impetus behind wanting to put out a sex advice and intimacy advice magazine for Christian married women?
You know, there is this really great girl on Substack, and she probably shouldn't even know that I read her. She's a liberal, and my friend sent me the piece.
Brittany, by the way, is an absolute gem. This woman is genuine, like a genuine person. So she's awesome.
And she really understands what we're doing in a way that I feel like the right sometimes does not. Because in the beginning, we were the first to talk about the hormonal birth control pill, which was, at the time when I lived in LA, my friends trained the Victoria's Secret girls and they were all getting off the pill. So all the liberal girls were getting off the pill. So we start writing about it. We talked to Dr. Jolene Bright and all these doctors, and it was a liberal thing. But because Evie wrote about it, it's conservative. And then because we launched the sundress, the Washington Post did a cover, is the sundress political? And it's like, I feel like they just take Pilates. We love now Pilates is like an extremist thing to do. So I feel like they just take whatever Evie says and like turn it into a political thing. And I think it kind of makes the liberals also mad because they're like, what's going on? But when it comes to sex, for years, you either had like the, hook up with whoever, it's super empowering. And then you had like the right side where they're like, oh, don't talk about sex unless it's trauma. Like this was actually told to me by someone who is big on the right. They're like, you're not allowed to talk about sex unless it's sexual trauma.
Someone actually told you
that?
Whoa.
One of the big, I'm not gonna say which magazine, but it was a big conservative magazine that's been around for like 30 years, but no one really knows about it.
What a horrible message. That's the only time conservatives talk about sex.
But they're like, you can't talk about it. And it's like, okay, marriage back in the day, men wanted to get married, probably because they wanted to have sex and they're also in love, and you couldn't get that access unless you were married. So when the left took over and, have sex with whoever, it's casual, all these things, then it's like, well, how do you, like, what's the point of getting married aside from like loving someone? But the more you have sex with different people, the harder it is to like form a bond. So it's like, why did the right give up one of the most appealing parts of marriage to the left?
Yeah, dumb move, man. Really dumb move from conservatives. Yeah, one of the benefits of getting married is sex. It's enjoyable. 10 out of 10 recommend. Definitely recommend. So, yeah, I think this whole discourse though is needed, and hopefully the sheets don't have to deal with too much nonsense. It actually sounds like it worked in their favor. So we'll see what happens. All right, moving on. So I saw this post from Lauren Chen, and she said, "One hill I will die on. You don't need an expensive wedding and shouldn't put off getting married if you can't afford one. If you have the cash and you want to spend it, that's your prerogative. But in general, weddings are overvalued while marriage itself is undervalued." Yeah. And then this is a response to this post, which is things more dangerous than $7 coffees, $40,000 weddings. Yeah. $80,000 degrees. Yep. 40,000 car loans. Yep. 2,000 a month apartments to flex for friends. Yeah. Yeah. I 100% agree. I think people do spend a lot of money on weddings that they don't need to. Like I would, obviously, if my daughters want a big wedding, I'm going to do what I can to help them with that. But I do think there's more effective ways to spend your money. Part of me, this is like I have mixed feelings about it because, like, I like the idea of celebrating two people coming together, but you don't need to spend $40,000 on that. You can do it in a way that's affordable, that also highlights the covenantal bond that you are making with one another. So I do think it can be done affordably, but people have to be willing to do it. I do think college, there's a lot of these things that you can just do significantly cheaper. And a lot of people want to keep up with the Joneses when they shouldn't be. Cars are one of those things where people spend way too much money on a car. Buy used, it's fine. Nobody cares. I know KMD is probably like, no, bro, get a really nice car. But I don't care. I'll drive a junker. I have no shame in it. I don't care about keeping up with the Jones. I just want to be comfortable. And going to college, obviously you can go to community college or not go to college at all. Probably not a good investment at this point in time. Just saying. There's better options. If your job can be easily replaced by AI, I would consider, finding a field that is at least temporarily AI proof. All right, let's see what else we got here. We're working through them, guys. Got all the tabs almost worked through. Oh, I thought this was like this speech is actually pretty inspiring. And this is an Alex Jones speech.
They look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200 and something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer and explorer. Going into space. Mathematics. Quantum mechanics. The secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. Its incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shut in your mind talking about Justin Bieber.
Dude, I'm inspired. I want to read me some Magellan, bro. That is this guy is such a talented communicator, man. I mean, say what you want about Alex Jones, but he can get you fired up, man. And yeah, he's right. They want to, distract you with nonsense, and things that don't ultimately matter. And we have these great heroes of history, man, that have just done some of the most impressive things known to mankind. I mean, sailing across the ocean, man, it was an impressive feat. It was dangerous and challenging and inspiring and adventurous. And, it's something that I think is largely missed in today's culture. We don't have a chance for adventure. We don't get to explore and go out and be the men that we were supposed to be. We play it safe far too often and don't do anything risky. And part of being a man, by the way, is taking risks, doing something crazy and something fun and something that is bigger than yourself. I mean, that is part of what it means to be a man. And so many young men miss out on that. And it's like, we have a big, beautiful world, and I get that it's not the same world. I get that the age of discovery is mostly over, but it doesn't mean that you still can't have adventures. It doesn't mean that you can't run a marathon. It doesn't mean that you can't climb a mountain. It doesn't mean that you can't do something daring. Go on an adventure. Explore the world around you. Cam D, you're a young guy. You're not married. See the world, bro. Experience the richness and beauty of this life, man. You know, something happens, you know, to a man's soul when he doesn't do that. And I think that's why we see men so pent up and angry and depressed. It's because they don't experience this life. They don't go on any adventures. You know, this is part of the appeal of video games. It's because it's an opportunity for men to do what they're naturally inclined to do, which is adventure. I saw an ad for a pirate ship, and a guy was looking for a crew of 56 good men. I think, like, that'd be a lot of fun. It would be. If I was a single man, definitely. You know, as a father, you got to recalibrate the types of risks that you're willing to take, you know, because there are people counting on you. Though, when you're single, you don't have that same responsibility, so might as well take advantage of it while you can. I do think also another thing, you know, like about this speech that kind of makes me sad is that I don't think even in our modern world that most people are even equipped to travel, you know, sail around the country. Like even with all we have in modernity, it's still very very dangerous, and we lost that pioneering spirit. It's pretty sad. But you know, I'm gonna play it one more time because it was just so epic.
They look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only like 11 people alive of the 200 and something crew, and the entire ship was rotting down to the waterline. That's destiny. That's will. That's striving. That's being a trailblazer, an explorer, going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty. It's incredible detail. Tuning into it. They want to shatter your mind talking about Justin Bieber. They look up to some twit.
So freaking awesome. Oh, that's just such an awesome clip, man. Freaking dope. All right, let's see. Let me see. Oh, this is really cool. So this is a clip. Speaking of inspiring, I'm inspired by El Salvador, man. I'm inspired by El Salvador. What they are doing is awesome. So this was shared by, I believe, their president. Yeah. I'm going to give him the play. Yeah, their president shared this. So this is a video compilation they put together.
I'm not what happened to me. I'm what I choose to be. Each step I take, I shift, I rise. The past dissolves before my eyes. I'm not what happened to me. I'm what I choose to be. Each step I take, I shift, I rise. The past dissolves before my eyes.
What transformation, man. I mean, look at what they're doing with their country. And this is too what happens when you punish criminals. You know, we don't have to live like this. Like, we don't have to live with people taking over our streets and uglifying our cities and destroying our way of life. We don't have to live that way. We don't. We could radically change the course of our country if we simply just enforced the damn law and locked up criminals. This isn't political either. This is just common sense. It's justice. It's the way things ought to be. And when justice is deferred, it's the innocent who suffer. It shouldn't be that way, and it doesn't have to be that way. We can fix our country if we just have the courage to act. We can make our cities livable again if we just had the courage to do the right thing. And the right thing isn't always the easy thing. Sometimes it's hard. It is what it is. It still needs to be done because there are innocent people that deserve to walk down the streets without having to worry about getting stabbed to death. There are little girls that deserve to ride the subway without having to worry about a thug coming up behind them and slitting their throat. We should not have to live this way. And the only reason we do is because cowards are unwilling to enforce the law. Not that they're not able to, that they're unwilling. And that is a damn shame. Okay. Speaking of enforcing the law, this is more unhinged behavior being normalized. So this is from Sunny Boy. Many hotels serve a complimentary breakfast to their guests. It's often set up in a cafeteria style room by the front desk. Many of these areas aren't secured by key card and that people off the streets could just walk in and eat and leave. This woman and many others have figured that out, and what they do is walk in during breakfast, eat, and leave. Most of the time, they are never even caught. The hotels always make too much for guests, anyways, and the food is thrown out if not eaten. The woman here is going to work and just stops at random hotels so that she can eat for free and leave for work. She claims it's not stealing because a hotel advertised a free continental breakfast and that they are going to throw it out anyways. So based on that, anyone should just be able to walk in without being a paying guest, eat what they want, and leave without any consequences. Is it still theft if they throw it away anyway?
I just snuck in this hotel for some free breakfast.
What's up, financial freedom?
This thing I done did. I'm gonna sit right here on this bench and enjoy it. And I'm gonna go back for seconds. Period. Going back for seconds. I'm having too much fun. Gonna make me a waffle now, y'all. Waiting on my waffle. Ooh, they got whipped cream. Ooh, I'm gonna put some of that on my waffle. Might get some cereal to go. Let me get some more eggs while I'm at it. Ooh, looks so good. Come on, girl.
I'm filled with rage.
Oh, there we go. Ooh. That's a big waffle. That's a big waffle. Plate number 2. Let's sit down and enjoy this swim. Yummy. When I tell y'all, this waffle's so good. Okay, that's all I could eat. I'm full. Like I'm full. Got me some juice and I'm out of here. That was kind of fun.
I
It's
just
so good.
stole.
So good.
So yeah, to answer his question, is it stealing because they're going to throw it out anyway? Yes, it is actually stealing. Is it yours? No. Then it's stealing. Now, if you want to get it once it's in the dumpster, by all means, go for it. But unless, but it's not in the dumpster. You're not a paying guest. It's not free for you. It's not free for anybody. It's free for paying guests. And yeah, this type of stuff is, I think, despicable. Honestly, I really think people like this should just be arrested. Send a couple of them to prison for a long time. The problem will stop overnight. In the meantime, yeah, they need to have this stuff behind a keyed room, or you can't get in unless you're a paying guest. It's really sad, though, that these people kind of spoil it for the rest. It shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't. What was I saw another post of a woman that was going to, I don't know, like Outback Steakhouse or something and getting complimentary rolls. And she just brought her kids there and they ate all the rolls and they didn't pay for any food. They just got the free rolls and left. Disgusting to me. Like, that is disgusting to me. And I don't care what they do with it after. If they throw it all out, I don't care. Like these things are for paying guests. So what I would do, there's solutions for these too. Like if I would give free rolls to people that made a purchase. If they didn't make a purchase, well, then those rolls become very expensive. Very expensive. Where you're gonna wish you made a purchase. You know, these people ruin it for like actually people that actually want to do the right thing. And it's very frustrating to me. Speaking of food, I wanted to play this video that was making the rounds. So apparently this is Hershey's chocolate.
Guys, I don't think chocolate's supposed to look like this. Why is it so like elasticy? I'm gonna bend it. Look at that. It's like slime. This is real chocolate. No, this is fake real chocolate, bro.
That's not chocolate.
It's like poop, bruh. This is literally like slime, bro. Look, I'm literally peeling it.
That is not how chocolate is supposed to look. I have real chocolate. It should be melting in her fingers. You know, and that's why, by the way, I eat Feastables. I like Mr. Beast chocolate. It's actually really good. And it's real chocolate. His peanut butter cups have real peanut butter in them. So just saying, there's alternatives now. Hershey has betrayed their brand, and the people that built their company, they've betrayed their values, and yeah, they give you this slop, man, this absolute fake trash, and they try to pass it off as real chocolate. Yeah, so here's what they've done. Hershey has reduced the amount of cocoa and replaced cocoa butter with vegetable oil in some products, often reclassifying them as chocolatey or chocolate candy due to rising cocoa costs. While many products still use real chocolate, some items, especially seasonal or filled items, use this compound coating method. Disgusting. Yeah, disgusting. That's gnarly. That is gnarly. Man, we are nearing the end of the tab dump. I'm almost there. Oh, so this is all pretty random stuff that we got left over, but I wanna cover it. So here's this. This is probably one of my favorite things I'm gonna play for you right now. So this was shared by Mario Nawfal. Hong Kong engineer built a mosquito defense system that uses LIDAR and lasers to vaporize 30 mosquitoes per second. Oh my God. I need
A laser
this.
fires with pinpoint accuracy, vaporizing the bug in milliseconds. In China, they've built something that sounds like sci-fi, but it's very real. The world's first mosquito air defense system. This cutting-edge device doesn't use sprays or nets.
I want it.
Instead, it scans the air using LiDAR, instantly detecting mosquitoes mid-flight. And when it spots one, a laser fires with pinpoint accuracy, vaporizing the bug in milliseconds. It's so fast, it can take out up to 30 mosquitoes per second. Worried about safety? Don't be. The system can tell the difference between insects, humans, and pets, so it only targets what it's supposed to. Plus, it works flawlessly even in total darkness. In short, China's turned mosquito control into high-tech warfare, and it might just be the future of pest control.
I freaking want this. Shut up and take my money. I need it. I need it so I could sit out on my porch in peace and not get eaten alive. I've been taking my daughter to soccer practice. I get bug bites every single time. Man, imagine if I had one of these bad boys. Oh, it'd be the best. It'd be amazing. So, yeah, I definitely want one. Definitely want one. Okie dokie. So, let's see here. Okay. Oh, here's another one. I'm not going to read the story. I just want to talk about this real quick. So, a California businessman has filed a federal lawsuit accusing worship leader Sean Fuchs of fraud. Donor alleges a $250,000 donation meant to fund worship tour events was diverted for personal use, including real estate purchases. This is Sean Fuchs. I don't know how many of you guys know who this is, but I believe he did what he's being accused of. Because Sean Fuchs once stole one of my tweets. May seem like a small thing, may seem insignificant, but he stole it verbatim and did not give me credit. And it was so brazen and so obnoxious to me that it immediately left a bad taste in my mouth for this guy and made me question his character. What you do with little tells a whole lot about what you would do with more. So if he can plagiarize a small tweet, then yeah, I have no doubt that he's abusing donations given to him and misappropriating funds. So the guy's a snake, and I hope he does get sued and pays back that donation that was supposed to be used to, advance the gospel of God that he used to enrich himself and buy real estate. Yeah, I hope justice is served there. I saw this by Katie Miller. About 2/3 of women thought it was possible to have a baby at any age thanks to medical advances. Fertility peaks in your late 20s. When did we stop teaching basic biology? Fewer women are having babies. Are immature men to blame? No. I don't think immature men are to blame. I think when you send a message that children are burdens, when you fight to make child-free zones, when you talk negatively about children and teach women that it is basically child marriage to get married in their early 20s, well then yeah, of course fewer of them are going to have babies because they've been sold a lie that they should pursue their career over homemaking, and then when it comes time to actually having children, well, now their fertility rates are dropping and it is increasingly more difficult to have children. But it is just crazy to me that they think they can have a baby at any age. It's insane. Fertility rates begin to decline at 30 years old. And No amount of IVF is going to be able to overcome that. This is biology we're dealing with. Also, though, even if you could, it doesn't mean you should. It can become very dangerous. And also, like, the older you get and the older you have kids, like, your time with your children is then going to be limited, and their time with you is going to be limited. I was like, I would hate to have children like in my late 40s and then, die before they graduate high school, like that would be awful. And you don't want to do that to your kids. You want to be present. And that's why I think it's also better to have kids young. I saw this too. I'm just gonna share everything I have on the docket.
Did you know serving your man is actually a superpower? Modern culture taught us that serving is weak. But the truth is, when a wife serves with purpose and pure intentions, she captures a man's heart in a way that controlling him never will. Think about it. You go into a restaurant and the waiter is treating you incredibly well. They're attentive, they're kind, they're present. By the end of the experience, you feel this natural desire to reward them. You leave a bigger tip, even though you barely know their name. Why? Because good service opens the human heart. The same dynamic exists in a relationship. When you serve your husband with warmth and respect, you create that same desire to give back, which naturally for him is to protect, provide, and take care of you. And the best part is it's not forced or out of obligation anymore, but because his heart has moved. Serving is not weakness. It's one of the most powerful secrets to embracing your femininity. And if you want to learn more about how to understand your...
Anyway. It's good to serve your husbands. I have my wife is actually a server, and she takes care of me, and I appreciate it. So there's definitely some truth to that. Okay, I think this is going to be the last one, and we've gotten through. There's nothing really here. Yeah, this is the last one. We are good. So this is about Airbnb, man. So this couple was visiting out of state and decided to use an Airbnb. When they got there, they were treated to a beautiful view as well as delicious treats placed throughout the house. There were chocolates on the pillow, assortment pastries, and sweets. All were appreciated and enjoyed. The couple thought the host was being very hospitable, and gracious with the treats, since there was no mention of them in the contract. Several weeks went by, and they were sent a bill through Airbnb for over $700. Those treats weren't free, and the host charged them for every crumb. Was this fair to do, since there wasn't any kind of communication that said they would be charged for them? Would you dispute this or just pay? I would absolutely dispute it, 100%. Let's watch.
No, we don't want to pay because these are hidden charges. We shouldn't be paying hidden charges. You didn't tell us about them. We booked a holiday away in a lovely Airbnb. We took the kids. It was lovely. We walked in. It was near the lake and it was beautiful. And then we went in there and there were chocolates on the pillows and everything. All the fridges were stocked and everything. So obviously we had a lovely weekend. So obviously we're drinking Prosecco and everything like that. But then we get home. It's been about 2 weeks since we've been. We get home and an email comes through and we've been charged for everything we've eaten.
We just had an email from you, and we're just kind of shocked. Like, you've charged us a bunch of stuff for things that, I mean, first of all, are really overpriced, and second of all, I don't know why they're being charged for such small things.
There was a full bottle of champagne, and it has been drunk. So who you suggested has drunk it? It's just standard practice. I'm afraid.
It's not. We've stayed.
But in essence,
ungrateful.
We didn't know anything about it.
Fine. We'll see you then. We'll see you soon.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, I just thought it was a nice thing I was doing, leaving wine for you and not telling you that you were also going to have to pay for it. That's not a nice thing. The nice thing would be like, hey, listen, I left wine in the fridge. If you guys want the wine, want the candies, there's going to be an upcharge. Be honest and upfront. Do not sneak in hidden charges. You want to know one of the most obnoxious things too about Airbnbs is they charge you cleaning fees. But then they expect you to clean like the place before you leave. Why the hell am I paying a cleaning fee if I'm cleaning the place before I leave? What the hell is that for? What, that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I'm team hotel now. I think I enjoy hotels more than Airbnbs now, just because they slip in all these hidden stupid charges and it's obnoxious. Now, if you're going with a whole group, maybe, it's better to get an Airbnb, but when I'm traveling, at least with my family, I'm just gonna stay in a hotel. And plus, I want everything taken. I want to be pampered. I don't want to do my own laundry. I don't want to cook my own food. I don't want to worry about any of that if I'm on vacation or out of town. I want all that stuff handled for me, and I just want to be taken care of. So there's that. All right, sweet. We did it, guys. We got through all the tabs. All the tabs that had been on the docket for like 2 weeks, we have finally made it through all of them. Or not 2 weeks, like a week. We made through all of them. And I'm happy about that. Because now I can restart, revamp, and we'll be good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this stream, take a short break, and then I'm going to start a premium stream to playing whatever video game just to get some of my premium hours done. So I'll be doing that for the next couple hours. But so if you want to tune in, that's great. If not, I get it. If gaming is not your thing, that's fine. No worries. But I am going to log for a little bit and just take a break for a second, and then I will fire the old stream back up, and we'll just be doing a variety gaming stream. Anyway, I hope you guys have a blessed night. If you tune in the next stream, I'll see you there. If not, deuces.
It is